Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dukowitz of the Commit and Go podcast. We encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this: I just won't do it the wrong way. So earlier today, I am outside with my wife, the landscaper. If you've listened to me at all, you know that we have had we're on month 5 of getting our front yard completed from a landscaping fiasco that took place back in April of 2019. And so what's being done now is that they get to finally lay sod. So our entire front yard was tore up. They're now laying the sod and they're repairing the original landscaping that had been done because that had to be torn apart. And a part of that meant borders. If you know, many houses will have pavers, and these are pavers that kind of board the garden and they make it look really nice. And you have, mulch or rock inside of them and some plants as well. And it just gives it a good curbside appeal. And so on the right side of our home, these pavers are lined up. They're probably at a 30, 40 degree angle. They're angled upward. You can see them from the road. It looks really, really super cool. It looks nice, highlights the yard with the rocks, and it's just something that I love. And the left side, where all the work was done, was the same way. In other words, when this got completed 4 months ago, before they had to tear our yard apart, before they had to build a ditch that was about, I think it was 30 to 60 feet long, before they had to do all that, it looked really good. And you could see that angled curve of bricks from the road, and you can see the rocks, and it had this great curbside appeal, and I loved it. And then we had to hire somebody different because we weren't going to let that same landscaper come back to our house. So we hired somebody different, a man who's in my wife's B&I group, and we hired him to come out and go ahead and fix the mess. And as a result of fixing it, he made the left side flat. Now remember what I was telling you, the right side was angled. You can see it from the road. The left side is now flat. And as I walked outside and saw it, I got really pissed off. Basically because we let somebody come in and do a job that they're not doing. Are you kidding me? I got another landscaper who's not doing the work right. So I'm really ticked off at this point, and I don't really want to talk to him because I don't want to say anything. I don't want to collide with him because this guy is in my wife's B&I group, and I don't want to ruin their relationship, but I also don't like the job that's being done right now. And so we go out and we have a conversation with him, and he explains to us that basically the way the other landscaper was doing it is wrong. And I'm going, okay, so wait a minute. You got a landscaper who he's been doing work for a long time. Now, mind you, this is also the same guy who flooded our basement. But you got a landscaper, he's been doing it for a long time. He does them in angles. And then you got you, who you've been doing it for a long time, and you're wanting to do it flat. But he proceeded to talk to me about how that when you look at the ground and you look at the dirt and you look at some of the pavers that we already had on the right side of the house, you could see where they were becoming uneven. Why? Because they weren't flat. They weren't able to butt up against each other. And every time you get your grass cut, you have somebody who's stepping on them, a lawnmower hits it, kids walk on them, and these things become very imbalanced. But when you look at the side where he made it flat, it still flowed, it still had a curve, it just wasn't angled. And he said, I guarantee my work, and I just won't do the work that's not going to be right for you, because I don't want you to call me a year from now saying, dude, this is now wrong. I'm not willing to do that. And so I'm sitting here and I'm going, man, this is so crazy. Two landscapers, they're supposed to be, this is their craft, this is their art. Why is one of them telling me I can't and the other one is telling me I can? But yet my wife even walks over to the pavers. As I'm looking at them right now, I can see how this angled side is already starting to break down some 5 months later. And I can now understand and appreciate as he was saying this, okay, wow. So I got to trust this guy. I just got to trust the process of what he's saying. And I have to be able to release this outcome here because holding on to it isn't going to fix anything. And I have to look at the whole situation and say, okay, this isn't my craft. I trusted one person. That person hit a pipe that created a flood in my basement. So I'm going to trust this person now because I can't hold on to it. I can't hold on to it and say, well, I don't trust all landscapers now. I have to look at it and go, hey, I'm going to trust this guy now. And so many people hold grudges and they hold on to it and they let it cloud their judgment moving forward. There was a point where I'm going, no, just do it. He did it. I even said well, isn't there something you can do to give it a kind of a sexier appeal? And he said, the only thing I could do is what they were doing, and that's the wrong way. And I'm not willing to do the wrong work because I guarantee my work. So I had to release. I had to let go of how I was thinking and feeling about landscapers and go, okay, well, I already trusted one and got burned. Now I'm going to trust another one and get burned. And I thought, no. It doesn't matter. I have to release the last one. The last one flooded your basement. The last one screwed up everything. The last one's work is already breaking down. So you can't hold on to it because it doesn't mean all landscapers are like that. It's just the experience that I had. So I look to this new one and say, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to let you go ahead and just do your job because this is what you do. And I'm going to trust that what you're telling me is true. So what's the point of all this in your life? Like, where is it that you hold on to grudges and you're allowing those grudges to cloud your thinking? You're allowing them to you're putting it off on somebody else. Like, all of a sudden, maybe it's a landscaper for you and you meet another landscaper and you're like, oh, all landscapers are just, they're crooks. Or like, I know as being a chiropractor, people come in and they go, I don't know. Once you go, you always got to go. Well, did the last chiropractor explain to you like why you might need to continue to go to a chiropractor and the benefits of it in your life and your health? Nope, all he wanted was to collect money from you. I'm like, okay, well, can we have a different relationship where I'm going to attempt to explain to you the why behind it and let's see if we can come to an agreement that maybe this is something that would benefit your life. Like, because I'm not that chiropractor. Right? I'm not that doctor. I'm not that trainer. I'm not that nutritionist. I'm not that doctor. Like, take a look at your life and where in your life are you allowing your experience with somebody else, a negative experience with somebody else, pour into your other relationships. People do this in their relationships all the time with a spouse or significant other. Like, you hear all the time where like maybe a woman had a bad experience. It's like, man, I just don't trust anymore. Or a man had a bad experience. It's like, I just can't, I don't know if I can love anymore. She broke my heart. It's like, but you can't couple that into every human being. Because we're all different. So take a look at your life right now, in body, in your health, in your spirituality, in your relationships, in your business. And where is it that you're letting a negative experience somewhere in your life cloud your judgment and the experiences that you could have right now? And write down what that thing is. And then write down what is the one action that you're going to take in the next 24 hours. In other words, you're going to call that person and say, hey, I'd like to give this a chance. I'd like to go down this path. Like, what is that action that you're going to just commit and go into? Because no matter what happens in life, what we have to realize is that everything is about lessons. That poor experience that I had gave me 2 weeks worth of podcasting. This experience that I'm having right now is giving me another opportunity to talk about this to you. Why? Because I can't hold on to it. If I hold on to it, I lose energy. If I hold on to it, I lose focus. If I hold on to it, then I'm not releasing the outcome and letting it happen the way it's supposed to happen. I will have a new experience with him, and who knows, we'll probably have him come back to do additional work because what he said made complete sense. But it only made sense because I was willing to be open and listen. That's all I've got for you here today, folks. Hey, if you haven't already, please head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Rate, review, and or subscribe this. And hey, how about forwarding my podcast off to somebody that you know, love, honor, and appreciate, that you think could benefit from the fire I deliver here every day, Monday through Friday of every week. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.